Well, hi there. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist, born male, became female. Anyway, and sort of non-binary along the way. I'm not sure. Oh, whatever. Who cares? Why? Who needs labels? Anyway, do you believe in a life after death? When our bodies die, does our consciousness go on? Well, let's find out. My guest is internationally renowned psychic, Ms. Elvina Dasilva, who is a brilliant psychic, is from Brazil, I believe, originally, lives now in New York, and we are going to discuss life after death. Is it real? I think so. She thinks so. Most people on Earth think so, but let's find out. Okay, my guest.
Hi, Diana. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Elvina. How are you? So now, a lot of people, some people think, well, when you're dead, that's it, it's over. I don't think that, you don't think that.
I don't. Definitely I don't. Because of the experience itself. You are dealing with, they think every day, every time, and how come you do not understand that? Okay, so most people are concerned about where are you going when we die. That's the continuing of life. Now, when you die, you bring everything, Diana and guys, we bring everything. We bring our ego, we bring hate, we bring love, we bring passion, we bring traumas, we bring resentment, we bring all that to where astral world, where the emotion and our deeds are, where the personalities are, where you continue your life until you are still evolving and needing to come back in a new incarnation to resolve problems or to make your better. So you go to astral world. You can leave the astral world when you are in a higher evolution and you lose the astral world, your astral body, and then you go into a high level one. Or you lose your astral body when you do too much evil to others, and then you lose it and you become a kind of amoeba, let's say. But that's not the case right now. So you go to the astral world and you live in there. And what you remember is what you have done in the last incarnation. You remember your name, you remember the things you did, and the things that hurt you the most or the things that you love the most. And most importantly, many people suffer in there with longing. They miss their loved ones, their job, their lives. And that's what makes people suffer too much with this attachment to love or hate sometimes. But now the question, where are we going, Diana, now on this this time itself? Because timing now is not as it used to be. Why? Because now everyone is getting prepared to move together with the planet to a quantum leap to fifth dimension. But who goes to fifth dimension? Who are prepared for that? And let's talk about one thing that is important. We live in the physical world, right? When you die, you go to the astral world, which means the spiritual world of the planet itself. So there is the planet physical.
Because
and
there
the
are
planet
other, you can be born on other planets or souls, and you can die and go to their astral planet, their astral world, don't you think?
You go to other planets, yes, you go. But until you need to evolve in such a degree, you go back to this planet.
Now, we live in a third-dimensional world. Right. We are getting ready to ascend to the fifth dimension.
Right.
Some people will be left behind.
Many people.
Donald Trump, are you listening? Yeah.
Listen, when you die, you have on the other world, which means the astral world of this one, you have 12 sub-dimensions, from 1 to 12 evolved one, all right? So you go to one of them according to your vibration. And your vibration means the result of what you've done. And before I go on, I want to tell you one thing very important to everyone. It doesn't matter to those upstairs what you have done from your navel down, all right? That belongs to the physical world. What is the main question to count your vibration on? What have you done with your heart?
In other words, it's intent, not so much what you do, but what you meant to do when you did it.
What you do for others, heart,
Yes.
compassion.
In other words, you can kill someone, but if that person is in great pain and you're trying to put them out of their misery, it's not murder the way it would be if you look at someone and say, I fucking hate you. That's
Right.
different.
Yeah.
Both result in death, but the intent is completely different.
That's very true. Anything, any small action, any big action will depend on the way you did and your intention. If some problem come into your hands and you could do something to make that person or that group of person or that family better, and you refuse to do, thinking of yourself, that is bad for you. Because you had an opportunity to make a difference, but you did not because you thought of you egoistically. Now, if you are doing something, whatever you are doing, or whoever you are, but there is an opportunity, and you forget yourself for 1 minute, for 1 day, for, we don't know, but you do that with the sole intention to do something great for others, no matter who the other is. And then you do only out of compassion. It is exactly what you will count. What were you able to do for others? That, I mean, from the navel up, your heart, that's what counts. And it is interesting, Diana, because when my father died, I used to communicate with him because he was a very spiritual and a spiritualistic person. And he communicated with me when he died. And he said to me, my daughter, even names means nothing on the other side. Nothing. The only thing that means on the other side is the great things you did. Tell your sisters, tell all the other, because my family is a big family. Tell everyone, please, there is still time to do something great. Don't lose time anymore to do something. When opportunity comes into your hand, do something out of love, out of compassion, no matter who it is. If you understand somebody, Diana, who is with a little depression because of any problem, it doesn't matter. And you just listen to, you just have to listen. You may release that person from death, from a suicide, because suicide now is something very...
Oh, it's awful.
Awful.
So many people are doing it.
Young people, children.
I have a friend whose 13-year-old nephew had a crush on a girl who was 14 on the internet. They had never met in person. She dumped him over the internet. He went upstairs and he hanged himself. He killed himself at the age of 13 over a young woman he had never met in person. Oh.
Maybe if that guy, that boy, because he was still a boy, like had an opportunity to speak to you and you were in a hurry to do something, but you decide to listen to him for 1 minute, you could release him from the worst.
Well, I've had startling emails from people who say, you know, I watch your show, I'm transgender, and it helps me a lot to watch your show. And I mean, that's quite a responsibility. Thank you very much. And I deeply appreciate it. But, you know, I mean, this is just a forum so that we trans folk can deal with one another and see one another and know that we're not alone. And I would be deeply disappointed in any of my friends out there who killed themselves. Do not kill yourself. It will always get better, I promise. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Do not kill yourselves. Remember, I'm here for you, you know?
And there is something that you should know. Sometimes you are being tempted to kill yourself, but there is somebody like influencing you to that. And when you do, they jump out.
Yeah.
And then you
In other words, a
regret.
kind of possession.
Yeah, you regret, but it's late.
Yes. Well, and also, you know, I mean, think of all the people who have terminal diseases who would give anything on earth to live. And they can't, and they can't,
Right.
and it's over, and it's time to
Right.
go. And they don't want to go, but it's time to go.
Right.
Many of those people in previous lives killed themselves.
Right.
And are now seeing that how precious life is, and that, you know, it's not something to be treated lightly or
Right.
thrown away.
You saw the biggest case that is known. The parents lost a 2-year-old girl, young parents, and 2 years later they lost the second. It was very tough for them. The mother has never come back to the palace.
No, not really.
It was in New Jersey. What happened? Their 2 children killed themselves. One needed 2 years more to end. And this time she came for only 2 years, because when she killed herself, there would be only 2 years more for her to die.
Ah.
So, and the boy was something. The boy killed somebody who had 4 years ahead to live, and he killed. And he lived this time only 4 years. But the parents of the both,
Yes.
were children of them who did not do anything to make the difference. So they did like ignore the situation. And now they had to be under the pain of losing their children.
It's basically karma. Really,
Right.
what you do comes back to you, you know? Good
Law
or
of cause
bad.
and effect.
Yes.
So right now, Diane and people and everyone, please, please, please think over about what you do in order to make your vibration better. Little things, it does not necessarily have to be great things, little things, but great intention for others. Because you evolve, you get yourself better and your vibration better while you are on the physical world. Now, if you cannot make yourself better, you will have to go to one of the portals, which means subdimension, from 1 to 12. Whoever is on 12 automatically will jump ahead with the land, because the land is the one who will jump ahead. And Diane and you guys, many are those of the other side pulling the string behind the curtain, not to let people evolve so that they believe the land will not evolve.
In
Right.
other words, people on the other side, some low, unevolved entities, do not want you to evolve here, and they hold you back and make you want to take drugs and drink
Right.
and do all sorts of
Why?
things.
Because
kill
they
people.
know they will not. They know they will not go. So, as I don't go, I will not let anyone go. I will influence and
If
bring
I
with
can't
me.
rise, nobody else will.
Right.
That kind of thing.
And they believe that if they stop people from getting involved, the land will not, because the land needs at least 1/3 of people to jump ahead. But now is a fight between good and evil. And good is always the one who wins.
Yes.
But they are not playing game. They are intelligent. They know what they are doing. They are everywhere.
You mean
they
the evil entities?
The evil entities. They are everywhere. They know what you do. They follow every
But
of your
so do
steps.
the good ones.
Right. But you don't let them do. You make yourself better. You do for yourself, because this is a fight. So where I'm going after death, you go to where your vibration is. according to your vibration. If you go to number 1 portal, which means number 1 subdimension, it's because your vibration is accordingly. If you go to 8th dimension, subdimension, it means your vibration is great to go to a good planet, but not enough to go to 5th dimension. So while you are here, you have time.
Well, that's why we're here.
Right.
I've read that the Earth is a learning center, that we come here to learn and evolve and grow.
Right.
And we can go forward and learn and evolve and grow and be better souls, or we can go back and lose our evolution and become drug addicts and drunks and people who hurt others, and, you know, it can go either way. You should strive, I think, for growth and evolution, as opposed to giving in to, say, peer pressure to do things that aren't good for you or for anyone else.
And please do not give your personal power to anyone. Anyone.
You know, I notice a lot of young women, when they fall in love with a man, I've done it myself, you expect the man to be your rescuer. You give him your life. You say, oh, thank God, make my life perfect.
Yeah.
And it never works because his life isn't perfect. He's as human as you are, and he can't make your life any better than...
And not only that, don't give your power, personal power that belongs only to you and to you only. Don't give to religious people, no matter which religion. It doesn't matter which religion is this. Don't give your personal power to anyone, because once you give it, you cannot do anything anymore, because it is a direct connection between you and the power, the source.
But those people who say, oh, the church says I have to do this. Well, no, let the church say whatever it likes. Only you know what. And it's possible also now to be very evolved in some areas and very base and low and up. John of God, who was so evolved, who did so much good for so many, curing cancer. At the same time, he was only a human man, and he liked the young girls, and he did things that men do.
Evolved, he was like being taken, and he did not pay attention, maybe because we are human. There is pride involved, and there is anger, fear, guilty complex, and everything. And the person believes that, okay, I'm helping others, I am free. We are not free, Diana. You help, you do, you work, but you are not free. You have to pay attention 24 hours.
Yes.
Nobody is free of temptation. Nobody is free of doing evil. Just because you do something spiritual, it doesn't mean you are going to be free of attacks. You are not. On the contrary, you are more vulnerable to attacks, to be influenced if you don't pay attention to yourself and to every step along the way.
And you also don't want to develop arrogance and think, well, I'm John of God. I'm curing all this cancer. So if I feel like raping a 14-year-old, I will.
That's fine. It's not fine.
No.
No, because when you don't know the truth, many things you will not be held responsible because you did not know. But once you know about the law, about the cause and effect, about everything, and you do, it will be tough on you.
In other words, if you grow up, let's say you grow up in a brothel, and you're the pimp's son, and you think it's perfectly normal to rape women as the mood strikes you, because you don't know any better. You've been told that's what men do. Do it. And you do it. And the intent isn't evil. It's just you think this is how it should be.
Right.
But then you learn that that's not how it should be, that women are human too. Then you stop doing that, and the intent changes.
Right.
And you have grown.
More temptation comes, because when you want to do the right thing, to the right ones, you are more tempted. You are more in risk.
The Catholic Church has a very interesting idea. Priests are supposed to be celibate, but many aren't. And they say...
Most of them
are not. My own grandfather was a priest when he was young. Then he stopped being a priest and got married to my grandmother. But anyway, celibacy is something to aim for. it might not be your natural state and it might not be something you can live day to day, but it is an ideal to aim for. That, in what I'm trying to say is that we are all tempted all the time by many things, and we do our best, and sometimes we fail.
Right.
But we keep trying.
Right. We keep trying. That's it. We keep trying. Because I myself saw John of God doing wonderful
Yes,
things.
he was a miracle worker.
Yeah.
He really, literally, he would cure
I
people.
saw, I helped, I went there to help. Not always. I went there to help when I was bringing somebody who wanted to go and did not know how. I went. And I saw myself with my own eyes, a mother who came desperate with a 5-year-old boy, almost died, almost blind. One eye was completely blind and the other was 5%. And I went there with her. His number was 200. When the doctor came through, John of God, he was looking at everyone and he said, the little boy. And we were 200. And I told his mother, it's you. No, I am 200. No, it's you. Come, bring him. And he brought him, and John, and he was incorporated with the entity, with the spirit doctor. And he said, to the mother, are you able to come back here 21 times so that you will have your boy healed completely, because he needed 3 times 7. In other words, cleanse each chakra 3 times.
John of God was a well-known faith healer who did a great deal of good.
And that he did not say it. I am saying it because I knew it. And then the mother was, I don't know. And I said, you don't know you brought your son to be healed, decided. And she was like, I don't know. I said, can I decide for her? And he was very tough. No, you are not the mother. I said, okay, please. And then she said, she decided. She brought him 21 times.
And that proves like
the guy was great.
He was a great soul. Maybe he liked the girls, but
he did a lot of things.
He did a lot of things. We all do a lot of things.
Right.
But he did great good. And that also proves life after death, because often he was guided by dead physicians who would guide him to help people who needed help.
Right. So he gave his time to the benefit of the other. He did. He did wrong.
Did.
Yes. Maybe he was influenced. Yes, he did. But he did a lot of things, and it was more than 50 years.
Yes, and he did wonderful things and terrible things. Well, not so terrible. I mean, men are men.
The important thing, guys, that's our time is over. Just do as much good as you can while you are in here.
Yes.
That's all. Right now, there is no time anymore to spend with nonsense things, with things that you squeeze and nothing comes out. Just spend your time with those you love, wonderful, but that you love for sure. It doesn't matter who the other is. Love. Love and love. Forget hate. Let go hate. Let go things that don't make you great.
Yes, but it's all too easy to get bogged down in hate and rage and an urge for vengeance. And that's the push me, pull you of life. Overcoming that low vibration of, I'm going to get you, you son of a bitch. Get over that and just say, look, we all have problems. We all make mistakes. I forgive you.
Yeah. And if you do not, Diane, if you have an enemy and you forgave him and you ask forgiveness and you forgave yourself and he did not want to forgive you, the problem will be between him and God.
Exactly.
It's not between you and him anymore and not between you and God anymore. We are on this time. Exactly. So ask forgiveness every day to everyone. Don't let grudge take you. Something happened, fine. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to do that anymore. Please forgive me. I don't want to forgive you. Okay, but I forgive you. That's it.
Yeah.
And let's sleep in peace.
You don't even have to say it, because if you say to someone, okay, I forgive you, who the fuck are you to forgive me? Fuck you. You caused me all these problems. Just forgive them in your soul and don't even tell them, because you don't want to start a new fight, you know?
Right.
But, yeah. But we all do good and bad things. We all do our best.
Yeah.
And also, you know, the male imperative, male anatomy. I'm not making excuses for John of God or
Right.
any man.
Right.
But men are men, and they will do what they will do.
Right.
What can you do, you know?
Yeah, we do what we can when we can. Of course,
Exactly.
we are human beings, and that's it. But if you can, even if you can at least think about what you heard today, try, just try. Try will not kill you, because listen, when you go to the other side, you regret for things that you could have done and you didn't do. And when you have that, it is tough on you.
If you could have helped someone and you didn't, you'll know about it when you leave
Right.
this place.
Or this kind of, why did I do? What haven't I just thought for 1 second. I could have resolved that for 1 second. Why not? So don't think about that. Do it. Just do.
And also empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. How do they feel? And if they're angry with you, why are they angry with you? Try to see their point of
Right.
view. Yes.
And it goes to animals, it goes to plants, it goes to anything that has life should be respected.
Yes.
Anything at all.
And now, if people want to contact you, how can they contact you?
You can go to the email apometry, you love it @gmail.com.
Apometry, you love it @gmail.com.
That appears on the show Know Thyself. And 212-838-8691. And don't forget that if you want to come to my show and talk about your past life or something or a spiritual wish, you don't have to pay anything because it is free in the show.
Because you're doing the show.
You
and
don't
that's-
even have to show your face if you don't want to.
You can be on the show and not show
yeah.
your face.
Exactly, exactly.
So anyway, my guest has been renowned, world-renowned psychic, Miss Elvina Dasilva, originally from Brazil, once worked with John of God, whom we both admire in many ways.
Right.
We do.
I did not work. I helped people go in there, let's
Yes.
say, but saw a lot of good things.
Yes, and we all know that he did great good.
It did.
He did. And anyway, my guest has been, as I've said, Elvina Dasilva. I'm Diana Montford. This has been the Diana Montford Show. I love you a lot, even if no one else loves you. I love you. Bye.